we're talking about marketing, selling to the federal government. I was standing outside the room, so I don't know how many of you all are already working with the federal government, but the federal government was, can't say still is, but they were one of the biggest supplier or biggest seller of goods in the United States. So they are, at one point before January 20th, one of the biggest, that you can work for. So today we're going to go over government contracting, how the government buy goods and services, marketing your business and identifying federal opportunities, prime and subcontracting, and how the government can help you. I do my best to help everyone. I am a very open book. If you need assistance, I know a gentleman called me from Atlanta, and I service South Carolina, but I don't have a problem sitting down with anyone. I can't say for everyone else, but in my office, I will sit down and I will work with anyone to assist as I can. In government contracting, we talk about small. The federal government works a lot with small business. We work with large business, but our main priority is small businesses. Do you know your NAICS code? Do you know where the NAICS code is? So let me get this census. How many work with the federal government? How many have had contract with the federal government before? Okay, only a few. So that means only one person. Oh, you got a business too still, don't you? Okay. So you all know your NAICS code. Do you all know what NAICS code means? North American Industry Classification Code. We must know that in order to work with the federal government. We don't say I'm a cook or I do construction. The federal government has it starts with a 2-digit code as the PSC, but they have a 6-digit NAICS code that describes what the industry that your business falls in. In order to work for the federal government, you must have a NAICS code. You have one or you can have 101, but you must have at least one NAICS code to register with the federal government. You have to know your business type. We don't tell you how to structure your business. We encourage you to talk to a lawyer because that should be someone that you have on your books anyway, a lawyer, an accountant. Those should be people that you work with, but the lawyer can tell you how to structure your business. During the pandemic, we learned that a lot of people use their social. When starting a business, that's okay, but once you get your business operating, please get away from your social, get a tax ID number, and structure your business correctly. I know she mentioned the IRS. Don't be afraid of them because if you do the right thing, they're going to do right by you. They don't bother you if you're doing right. So don't be afraid of the IRS. Talked about the NAICS code because I have a lot of slides, so I'm going to breeze over a lot of them. Does the government buy what you sell? So you have to determine your industry, your market, and who to market to. Do the federal government buy everything? They buy a little bit of some things. They buy a lot of things. Construction, IT, landscaping. Those are the major fields that I see the federal government active in, or they're doing a lot of work in. 27% of all the federal dollars that the federal government spends goes to small business like you all. So you can get a seat at the table, but you have to show up because this room should be filled. This is one of my pet peeves when I see we have all this knowledge in the room, all these resources outside. It's Saturday. Why a lot of people are not here, but I digress. I'm going to keep moving on. Are you prepared to work for the federal government? You don't have to have $1 million to work for the federal government, but you need to have, if you get in a contract, you should have money because the federal government does not pay you every 2 weeks like you do on a job. You have to invoice, and the federal government will pay you after you invoice, and they make sure that what you invoicing for is correct. You have to have good character. Good character means if I say I'm going to build this, I'm going to divide this room, I'm not going to divide it how I want to divide it. I'm going to divide it how we sign this contract and say we're going to divide it. So you have to do or perform as promised. That's why they look at your character. You have to have the cash flow. Like I said, the federal government don't pay you every 2 weeks. You have to invoice. You have to make sure, but sometimes it's a 30, 45-day wait before you get paid. So you have to have cash on hand to pay your employees or pay yourself. You have to have collateral. Capitalizations and conditions. How the government buys goods. The federal government has three ways of buying goods and services. We have full and open competition, we have the small business set-asides, and we have sole source. The federal government spent over $700 billion annually on goods and services. That's a lot of money. And like I say, 23% of that goes, 27% of that goes to small businesses. So you can get a piece of the pie. You can get a piece of that $700 million, but you must be certified to get that. Oh, it was 23, it went up. When do full and open, that means everybody can bid on full and open competition. Can you all hear me? Okay, I need the microphone. Full and open competition means everyone can bid. You don't have to be set aside, you don't have to be part of any of our preferential programs. So full and open competition means you just bid. A set aside means we have a woman-owned 8A, I'm going to go into those later. We have a woman-owned 8A hub zone and veteran-owned small business, certain veteran-owned small business. I know I talk fast, but I have like 80 some slides to try to work through it. I think I got 30 minutes. Those are set aside. The federal government will set aside projects for those small businesses if you are certified in those areas. These are our social economic disadvantaged small business program. We have the woman-owned, the 8A, the hub zone, services and the veteran. 5% of that $700 million must go to a certified, not just because I know one lady called me, she said, I'm a woman, I have breasts and everything. Okay. I said, but you have to go through the federal government and certify. There's an application process. You have to be certified. I don't understand that. Okay. Then we have the 8A program. It is for socially, economic disadvantaged small businesses. We're going to go over that. We have a hub zone, which stands for historically underutilized business zone. And then we have the service disabled / veteran-owned small business. VA used to do the veteran-owned, and we had the service disabled veteran. But as of 2023, everything fell under the SBA umbrella. So we manage all the certification projects. And then we have economic disadvantage women-owned small businesses. When you're marketing to the federal government, know what they buy. Anybody heard of Fort Jackson? What is the main thing that Fort Jackson purchased? They're known for training. Fort Jackson is the largest training post in the United States. They train hundreds of thousands of soldiers annually. So if you are into consulting or you do teaching, they do a lot of construction also, but they have revamped. I know Calvin here, who's one of my 8A firms, he redid a lot of work on Fort Jackson. They do a lot of construction on Fort Jackson also, but their main goal is training the soldiers. So if you have some type of training, and I do $1 million contracts, I sign contracts, well, it used to be weekly, but right now it's kind of slow, because we're under continual resolution. Hopefully on March 14th, we're still working, and we don't know. Find your niche in the federal government. Like I say, know what you're doing. And you can do a capability brief to the federal government, because the government buys a lot of things. And if you don't know who to talk to, call me. I have a listing of the agencies here in South Carolina. I can do a meet and greet. I can send an email, do a meet and greet to introduce you to a contracting officer that you're trying to reach. Have no problem with that. There's nothing for me to do with email. Reach out to me. Be familiar with the agency. That's what I'm talking about. Learn what they do. Everybody don't buy everything. I know you got a great business. The federal government don't oftentimes use the type of service that she do. But when they have balls and different things like that, they do. We have events because I'm working with the City of Columbia. We're doing National Small Business Week the first week of May. So we use services like that. We use tablecloths and table setup and different things like that. But it's not oftentimes that we do that. So know who's buying what you're selling, and that's who you pitch your business to. Don't just go to everybody because You want to get a federal contract, because everybody don't buy. You're wasting your time and you're wasting theirs. So make sure you do your homework. Just like you go for an interview on the job, because that's exactly what you're doing. You're interviewing, you're trying to sell your business just like you're trying to sell yourself. So make sure you know what each agency's buying before you go in there trying to sell to them, because then you know how to pitch your business to them. Capability statement. Who has a capability statement? Who knows what a capability statement is? Capability statement is a one-pager, just like a resume. You do front and back, but it's a one-page resume of your business. When you're at these events right here, who have business cards today? This used to be my big spiel. The $9.99, what was it? The Invista print. $9.99, get you 500 business cards. If you don't have a business card, have a digital. They have another free website that you get a digital business card. You come to see me and you talk to me, I'm going to ask you for your business card. I want to ask you for a capability statement, because when I send, like young lady, she want to work with Fort Jackson, when I reach out to Fort Jackson on your behalf, I have to send them something besides your name. So get your capability statement together. We have resource partners. We have the SPDC. We have the Women's Business Center, we have Bebop, and we have SCORE. And we have, I hope is one of our, I hope we do hear from Ms. Northfield a little after lunch. I hope that the Women's Business Center is a resource also. They can help you with your capability statement. When you visit these different agencies or these different stations, hand your business card and your capability statement to them. That's marketing, because you don't know who I know. I don't know who you know. You don't know who she knows. She may know someone that can give your business card or your capability statement to someone who needs your service. Not oftentimes, because I sent out, Fort Jackson sent me, was it just one day, they were looking for a particular skill set. I sent it out. You may not need it, but your friend or your family or somebody that you know may you do that service. So, I didn't get a lot of responses. Be proactive in marketing. This is a network. How do you market? This is a networking. I encourage social media. That's a free marketing tool. But you also have to network and go to events. The federal government do a lot of marketing events. I'm trying to get them back into doing it here in South Carolina. Doing a lot of marketing and network events. These events right here, meet these people. Like, she said, I can't think of her name right now. Cindy, I'm sorry. I'm old. I got my fan, I'm getting ready to turn on in just a minute because I'm having a flash. But we're gonna work. But market your business. You have to market your business. That's the only way to get your business out there, is if you market. No one is gonna come knock on your door, say, hey, what you do? Oh, I think I need it. No, that's not how it works. You have to market your business. In order to do a successful marketing or a successful meeting, that's where, when I come to play and I set up a capability brief with the federal government or federal agency that you're willing to work with, you need to have a proposal. You don't have to have 89 slides like me, because they're going to give you 30 minutes to an hour to pitch your business. Because when you get the desk out here, they're only going to give you maybe 60 seconds. That's why you should have your business card and your capability statement. But when I introduce you to a federal agency or send you there, you need to have a brief. You need to brief them. You need to tell them how you can make their lives easier. Not tell them what to do, but how. That's why you do your homework, find out what they need, and then you tell them how you can make their lives easier. So that's what you're doing when you're doing a capability brief or you market your business. Becoming a prime or a subcontractor. A prime contractor is the person that's signing on the dotted line that's getting that $1 million contract. A subcontractor is an agency or another small business that you bring on that can do things that you cannot do. And I always encourage you, before you become a sub or before you work with a sub, you learn them, court them, date them, Because if you don't know anything about me, a lot of you all, I've met a lot of you all before, you all have seen me, you know me, you know I talk a lot. But when you're doing business, you may not know. I've never met her before in my life, before today. So why would she offer me a $500,000 contract? She don't know what I can do. I may not show up for work, you know, I may not have the capability or capacity. I may not show up for work the next day, or you know, I might call in. So that's why I always encourage you to court your people before you do a trial subcontractor. Because if you if you can't do the job, I'm gonna take construction for instance. I think you do all your business in the house, right? If you don't do the flooring or the drywall, anything like that, and you sub it out, and that person decides not to come, you're still responsible for it. You are still responsible for those contracts. You have a deadline. You have an end date. Because they say, okay, I'm gonna have the floor done by the 28th. They expected it. You invoice for that. They say I'm gonna have a structure put up. Well, it takes about 2 weeks, 3 weeks to do that, to do the don't you sit here and act like you don't know.
I'm agree with you.
When you put the structure up, they have a deadline. So make sure when you're working with subcontractors, if you are a prime, make sure they are that they work and they do what they're supposed to. Because if not, you're held responsible. And if you do not get it done in a timely manner, sometimes you know, they can terminate you for cause, and you don't want to do that because of termination for cause, it can cause you not to get another federal contract because it goes on your report card. Build capacity, land contract. As a subcontractor, that's you getting your foot in the door. That's you meeting the agency or the contracting officer. That's how you get your foot in, so you can start working as a prime. Start working as a sub so you can see how the work goes, how it's supposed to go. Get a good mentor, someone that you're working with. Calvin is a person I'm going to keep using because you're on the front row, and I know you. So Calvin is a person that you may want to work with if you're in construction. Someone who can mentor you and work you through how the federal agency, because he's been doing, I've been with SBA 8 years now, 9 years, April will be 9 years. So I've been working with Calvin about 7 years now. So you want to get with a person that can teach you what you're trying to learn. Because he and I was talking earlier, and I'm like, go to a technical school here. They have tried technical college. Sometimes you can find a student who you can do as an apprentice. Somebody you can train who wants to do what you were doing. So look into that, you know, you can get them. I oftentimes tell, like I'm in Columbia, and I oftentimes tell them to use Divinity College or, because a lot of people don't have marketing. You should have at least 5% of your income from marketing. A lot of people, when you're starting up marketing, sometimes you don't have that. Use the universities that's close to you. Go to the business school and ask, you know, work with the dean of business, and you can use a student. You can give them 2 hours a day. Who better than Mark? Because I have a 30-year-old, 31-year-old, and a 29-year-old. Stay on social media more than they work. So, you know, that's all they do. Social media. That would be a good, if you don't have the funding, you can give them a 3-hour credit. You can work with the school and give them credit hours versus pay. If that, you know, they're in their senior year, they're trying to graduate, you can use the credit hours towards, you know, them get their degree. And they can do that type of work. Just help them do marketing. They can market your business. You know, nobody do flyers too much anymore, but they do market on social media, and they can manage your social media site. How the government can help you. Who's registered in SAM, the System for Award Management? That is the only thing required in order to work for the federal government is to be registered in SAM. SAM is a beast. For lack of better words. People, I've been doing for the past, since we don't have a lot of spending money right now, we're still waiting on our budget, waiting for March 14th. I've been doing a lot of SAM training. People come into the office doing one-on-one training, they have an issue. Have no problem with doing that. If you, I think I'm gonna start doing a 30-minute hour session weekly because doing one-on-one is prevent me from actually doing what I was hired to do. Which I have no problem with that because my thing is to help small businesses. But I think I'm going to start doing a weekly class on SAM for those who are having issues with SAM, so I can walk them through SAM and our certification process. But in order to work with the federal government, you need a unique identity, unique entity ID. The federal government is going to issue that to you. Once you go to SAM.gov, you click register. I'm going to see, well, they already have my presentation. Our hyperlinks are active. So don't go to sam.com or Google Sam because you may come up with someone that's going to ask you for money or ask you for your credit card. The federal government does not charge you for our system. I don't know because I didn't register this thing. But I don't know, when we partner with small business, with our agency with small business, they may charge you a small fee because they have to pay for they have lunch, they have continental breakfast, and this facility and the material that they have to pay for that. So they may charge you a small fee. But there are people out there who do what I'm doing, they probably do as good as I am. But they do the same thing I do, and they charge you hundreds of thousands of dollars, because I know I've seen them on the website, they charge $700 to get you a contract. No one can get you a contract unless they are a contracting officer. So if someone can promise you they can get you a contract, just say thank you. Yeah. Because you sitting there, you paying them $1,000 to get you a contract, and you wait till this time next year, and you still waiting on that contract. So don't let no one tell you unless they are a contracting officer. I can tell you, I can connect you with a contracting officer, but I can't promise you they're going to give you a contract. I can get you a sit down with them, but I can't promise you I can get you a contract because I can't do that. Go in here and register for the disaster system on SAM. Register to work with disaster. We just had Hurricane Helene about 5-6 months ago, back in September. FEMA is still out there trying to find people. FEMA still have money. That money didn't get cut off. I have to be very careful about what I say. Because I need my job, I have habits. I have a mortgage, I have a partner, I have a shopping habit, so I have to keep a job. So register with the federal government, register with FEMA. They're often, FEMA uses a lot, because I know I found a contract. They were looking for someone who do like small tiny houses or trailers, because up in Asheville, North Carolina, a lot of people lost their home. So I couldn't find anyone. They were anything, if you could, a trailer, you could rent out, if you had an office, an apartment, but they were just looking, they were going to pay people if you have a space, a room. They were just looking for anything. So, register with FEMA and see what you can find. There's a lot of opportunities out there right now. This is how you register with FEMA. This is on the website down at the bottom on sam.gov. Disaster. If you want to, don't take nothing, don't require no money, just require you to register you want to work with FEMA. If you have an issue that you have not certified, if you're looking to certify whether it's local, state, or federal government, we have resources that can assist you. I manage the whole state when it comes to federal contracting. Like I said, we don't have money right now. We have money, but we don't have a lot. So right now, I'm not doing a lot of tracking. But I will start back, hopefully, after March 14th. I think we're going to be shut down. But if we don't get shut down, I'll start back in March doing a lot of tracking. But we have resources because I can't do it all by myself. We have a small business development center. We have APEX. APEX Accelerator is not funded by SBA, but they are a resource at SBA. We work with a lot of people that can assist small business, so we partner with them. Oh, the Army Corps of Engineers. They are very instrumental. They have a SAMI conference coming up here in Charleston, 18th and 19th. 18th and 19th. They have in the State Department, Army Corps of Engineers from Savannah, they have if I can remember correctly, they have like 20 agencies you can set up to do a 30-minute, 30-minute presentation. They have a network event that's coming up. I can send it to whoever, I can send it to South the Commission Not Minority there, and you can ask them for, because I don't have everybody's email, but when you all register for today's event, you all should have, they should send you an email. So I will send that link to them, so if you are interested in going to that event, I think I got 2 events I set up. It's 2 events, network events that's coming up next month here in Charleston. If I'm working, I will be at both of them. But like I told you, keep pushing on. So network events, please get out there and If you go for a contract and you did not get it, ask for a debrief. A debrief would tell them why they didn't hire you and why the person they hired, what they did, why they didn't hire you. Look at it, they can tell you why they didn't hire you. Because I know I went to a debrief before. One of my 8A firms, he never did facility support, but he was great at construction. And they had $1 million contract for facility support. Like I said, you don't know me. You're not going to give me $1 million contract that you don't know. I don't have past performance. When you go to SAM, we have a site that says create or update your SBA profile. That's where you put your past performance. Make sure you put your past performance in DSB, Dynamic Small Business Search, because they look at the capacity, which is the amount of contracts that you have used, that you have gotten, and they look at what you can do, how you did on that contract. So make sure you put your past performance. Now we're getting ready to go over our certification website. How much time I got left? 1 minute? Oh, 13 minutes, okay. I thought she held 1 finger. Woman on small business and the economic disadvantage woman on small business. The woman on small business is self-explanatory. I thought it was one way, but they suck though. We're still here. Take advantage of the annual prime contract. You can get a set aside as a woman-owned small business. It's the rule of 2. That means they set it aside, but when they do a market, if you're going on SAM.gov looking for opportunities, you see a sources sought. If you are only female that respond to that sources sought, they will set it aside for woman-owned small businesses. So that's what you're looking for when you're looking for opportunity, you're looking for a source of salt. That's how you market the business. If they already have it designated for one of our furniture programs, more than likely they're not going to take it out of that system. It's getting harsh. The woman-owned small business does not have a dollar threshold, but the economic disadvantage woman-owned small business does. Your personal net worth has to be less than $850,000. You have to be 51%. The female have to be 51% owned in that business. That means you make the day-to-day decisions. You do the hiring and the firing. Because when I come in and talk to you, and your husband's sitting there with you, because I go to construction companies, women say they own the company, and I'm asking questions. She's sitting there, and he's answering all the questions. Sir, I'm not talking to you, but thank you. Because I need to hear from that female to make sure she owns that company. That's my goal. So make sure if you are the one on small business, when you get that contract, you're responsible for that contract. So the certification is not, well, the new certification is very easy right now. I will do another class on that soon. Personal net worth for the economic disadvantage is $850,000. Your 3-year average income cannot exceed $400,000. And the fair market value of everything, that's your business, your tax, your Roth IRA, and all that has to be less than $6.5 million. Getting the most out of the WSB or the EDWSB qualifies for set aside. In order to get the most, because I know I have a female yesterday I talked to her for 2 hours. How can she use it? You have to respond to sources sought. That's how the federal government markets you, set things aside. A lot of people don't agree with mental proteges or JVs, but that's another way to get business, to grow your business. I talked about the rule of 2, when you have to be the only 2 that can do it. The AA Business Development Program, this is my baby right here. This is what I monitor, this is what I cultivate, this is what I do from day to day. The AA program is access to business development. I ask for a business plan. I review your business plan. And when I review your business plan, I want to find out what's your weakness. What things are you trying to accomplish? So when we have our one-on-one conversation, That's what I focus on. A lot of just because it's me, because I think I have 46 firms right now, I still review the business plan. I still talk to you about what you say your weaknesses are. So I can see how I can make that weakness your strength. I look at your profit and loss. I look at your financials. So if you have a negative working capital, you have a negative profit, I'm going to talk to you about probably getting access to capital. Because if you don't have money in the bank or you don't have profit, how do you pay your employees? How are you going to reach your next job? Because you have to have money in the bank in order to pay your employees and to get your next job. Because you can't go out and get a job and they tell you, because when you go out and sign a contract, Monday, you start working. The AA program is a 9-year program. A lot of you, not many of you raised your hand about saying that you're certified. I encourage you now, who work with the city of Charleston, who has worked with the city of Charleston and the county of Charleston, got a contract. Because I know I work with this group a lot. And I know there are opportunities out here all the time. City of Charleston, who works for DOT? Oh my God, let me sit down. Come on. I talked to Greg, we did a meeting with Richland County back in September. He got $5 billion. It's not just the construction that's going on the road right here. There are a lot of opportunities out there, but you have to be registered. SMBCC, they're not doing a presentation today, but 10% of their discretionary dollars. Jack, I'm talking to you. I'm trying to make sure nothing has changed. 10% of their discretionary funds must go to certified small businesses. So register. It's free. It's free. Miss Brooke, oh, she walked out the room. No, that's you. Okay. Miss Brooke, how much it costs to be registered with you all?
Depending on who you are, it costs actually nothing. It's all free.
It's all free. There is opportunity, but you have to be certified. You have to be in the room. Miss Pam Green, she's from Richland County. How much you want to charge?
I'm with groups up there, zero.
There are opportunities. There are a lot of dollars out here that you all can get, but you have to be in the room and you have to be certified. People ask me oftentimes, I heard I have to have $1 million to be in the AA program. No, they don't require you to have $1 million, but they make sure you have, you generate income. That's why they ask for your taxes for the last 2 years, and they ask for your profit and loss and balance sheet. They want to know what you have done over the year. You don't have to have $1 million, you don't have to have $500,000. Don't write everything off. That's what a lot of people did during the pandemic, and they were not able to get any assistance because they want to write everything off. Don't write everything off. Don't zero out your taxes. Please don't. Make sure you have cash flow, past performances. Open for advice. I don't try to steer you wrong because I don't want to be on the front page of the state paper. Like I told you all, I have habits. I love my job. I help small business. That is why, we were as of yesterday still working from home. But I got up every morning for the past 2 weeks and went into the office. Because Monday morning, I would be there bright and early, ringing the bell, open the doors, saying, we are now open for business. You go back to work Monday. Oh, wow. Things have changed, but I am here. If you are a small business and you're interested in federal contracting, I have a box of business cards out there on my table. I have candy, I have some Snickers, so while you're standing there talking to me, waiting for lunch, you eat. Register. Listen to what I have to tell you because I work for the federal government all the time. For Jackson, when they're looking for specific, like I say, he was looking for somebody specific, they come directly to me. And if you are in, if I know you, if I know the service that you have, and look and I have the capability statement, I have no problem sending to it. But one thing you must be is certified. Thank you. Registered and signed. Go ahead. must control and manage that business. You must have a potential for success. If you are not generating income, you don't have, because I have nothing to advise you on or help develop if you don't have, if you're not generating income, you're not doing anything. You have to have good character. Your contract information. Please review your contract. I know I have an AA person here. He was going after a contract for, I think it was Army Corps of Engineers. And they sent him 3 times, asked him, are you sure you want, this is what you want to submit? 3 times. He kept changing the price, not looking at the rest of his contract. The thing that he missed out on that $4.5 million contract, he forgot to put his office manager. When working with federal contract, the contract or the statement of work can be 500 pages. But when you're doing your contract, you have to list everything, don't you have? You have to list your project manager, you have to list the workers, you have to list all of it. And he missed out on the contract because he forgot, he changed the price 3 times and never looked at the rest of his company. Read this one. We have a 2-year waiver, but in order to get a 2-year waiver, you must be in that line of work or you must be manager or have managed that business. I cannot do a hammer, don't know the difference in a screwdriver and a drill, but I want to start a construction company. Nobody wants me to do that. But if I was a project manager or a program manager or a construction company before and then I want to start my own construction business, yes, they would let me in a program based off of that. They will wait and do the 2-year waiver. Veteran small business, if vet cert is self-explanatory, you have to be a veteran and you have to be 51% owning that company. The HUD zone, historically underutilized business zone. I talked about going to universities. If you use the HBCU and hire a student, you only have to use them 35%, that's 40 hours a month. That's 2 hours a day. That's where that marketing comes into play. Because being a HUD zone program, 35% of your employees must reside in a HUD zone. And HBCUs are declared HUD zones. Mental protege, I talked about that a little earlier. Mental protege, if you're doing mental protege in order to do a joint venture, make sure you know who you're partnering with. Don't just partner with anyone. Because sometimes they use you as a pass because it might be a large business who can't get those small set aside. You got a question? Or?
Are you guys still doing the matchmaking for that?
It's the first weekend for the MP.
But yeah,
SBA, we don't do district office, it's done with the headquarters now. District office no longer, you have to go to headquarters to do the mental protege. We have a new platform now, it's called My SBA Certification. And before October 7th, well, it was before August the 1st of last year, we had 4 different platforms where you had to go apply for the 8A, the HUD Zone, the Women-Owned Small Business, and the Veteran-Owned Small Business. Now we have the My SBA. You will go through the My SBA program, go through the My SBA application process, and you can get all 4 certifications. My time is up. No, if you come to my table, you have, yes ma'am? Can you repeat what you just said? No ma'am. The My SBA certification website, when you go to the My SBA certification, instead of going through certified for the 8A program, the WASB, you had the WSB program, then you had the HUD Zone. If you go to certifications with the S.sba.gov, you can get all 4 certifications, all 5 certifications, just with that one platform where you do 1 application. That's the new program that we have. Oh, they said they don't want to talk about this, but set aside programs, what we have is still going on. There's no change. Everything that's going on, our certification program have not changed. We're still moving on as promised. So if you have any questions, I have a table outside, and you can come visit me outside. Thank you all.